Okay, so this fine day we are talking about conducting. It's probably going to be a long video, so I hope you're ready. There is a lot to conducting. It is a big part of your job as field commander. So first we're going to talk about the ictus or the ictus. This is the actual beat. I'll show you. So your beat should always be the same, so that way your band knows where you're at and you're conducting at all times. So like this. Where I'm hitting my hand, that's the ictus. So that's one thing that you need to practice. You can get like a piece of tape and put on your table or something and just practice making sure that the beat is always in the same place. So next we're going to talk about some different patterns. So this is the arrow pattern. This is what I always conducted in, and this is what they would teach you at camp because it's the most simplest and clear to understand from the field. So it's simply this: you're literally making an arrow. I definitely recommend starting off by learning this for sure because it's the easiest and it's like very understandable. You got the classical, which I wouldn't really recommend doing this during marching band, but obviously you can do whatever. There's no correct way of conducting as long as you're what's the word I want to use? Concise, I guess. As long as you're always the same, so your band always knows. So this is kind of classical. You make the one and then you kind of go into figure eight, and obviously nice flowing motions because it is classical. So there's that. And I can't remember the exact name for this, but it's kind of a cross between classical and the arrow pattern. So you do your number 1, 2, and then you kind of do a figure eight right there. So this is an option. This is what I conducted in during the second movement because for the majority of the second movement, it was mostly flowy. It all just is kind of in the context of your music, obviously. So there's that. I should probably teach you the home position first because that's the most important. So your home position is this. This is I'm ready, like let's start kind of thing, like pay attention. So your home position should be very relaxed. Like I can like have a full range of motion right here. I could do this for hours and be pretty okay. Just like that. This is what I look like from the side. So you should have a really nice relaxed angle right here. Not 90, not 180 obviously. Take it as you will. But that's what generally kind of angle you want to go for in your arms. Is this just like nice relaxed arm. Right here. You don't want it too high, you don't want it like up here, you don't want it down here. Those are all just really uncomfortable positions. So some little practices that you really need to get in the habit is just doing, you want to start out with just doing your little flicks. This is just to understand like your hand motions kind of, and just isolating your hand motions. And then once you get comfortable with that, you can go to just your elbow down motions. So it'd be just this. Kind of restricting your emotions, but like you need to understand your different areas of your body in this aspect. And then you want to add just a teeny bit of shoulder into it, not a lot, or you're gonna have some serious shoulder issues. I do not recommend that. It's not good. So this is just a little bit of shoulder with the elbow, obviously. Just a little bit of shoulder so we get a little bit more of range of motion. This is a very comfortable position for me personally. This is generally how I would conduct all season, and my shoulders never once hurt. And this is what it looks like when you have too much shoulder and you do not want this, or you're going to have really bad shoulders in the future, and you're probably going to need surgery. Not a good idea. So this is a lot of shoulders. You do not want to do this. You will get tired very quick, and your conducting will get very sloppy, and you might even slow down, which obviously we don't want that. So that is a no-go. You definitely need to go through those motions to understand like where your most comfortable home position is. And once you find it, you should be able to do it for hours and be okay. So that's that. Next, I want to go through the different types, measuring like 5/4, 4/4, those kinds of things. So you got pretty much like 3 standard ways of conducting 5/4. The first two is all depending on the music, and then the last one is just like standardly how you could always conduct 5/4. So music for 5/4 generally either goes in sets of 2/3 in one measure, or 3/2. But however, if it's like just like a wonky, like, I don't know, rhythm through each measure, that's when you do the standard 5/4, which I'll get to that. So here's like 3/2. It's literally conducting 3 and then 2, and then you got 2/3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, stop. And then you got the standard 5/4. So what you do is it's basically a 4/4, but you double on the second beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stop. You can, if you don't quite understand how the measures are grouped, obviously ask Mr. Lenzer, he'll always help you. So then you got the standard 4/4, which 4/4 is honestly the most common time signature. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. So one thing that they always taught us at camp to kind of understand this basic 4/4 position is, so beat 1, high, beat 2, eat a cheeseburger, beat 3, hug your best friend, and then beat 4, don't shoot. Which they actually changed this last year, but I can't remember for the life of me what this is. But at any rate, you get what I mean. It's all fun and games. And then you got your 3/2, which is 1, 2, 3, stop. Which this is used in our version of the Star Spangled Banner. Obviously, you start on the upbeat, 1, so you go, and 1, 2, 3 for Star Spangled Banner. If you guys want me to do a video on like Star Spangled Banner or fight song, kind of just like the gist of how I do it, let me know, I will. And then you got 2/2, so there's 1, 2, stop, 1, 2, stop. So there's that, and oftentimes during fight song, you would see me conduct it like this. This is basically just the stop time version of 2/2, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So there's that, which, I mean, personally for a fight song, I just think this is way more clear because, I mean, you start looking like an idiot doing this way. Honestly, you literally look like you're flapping your arms, which, as field commander, you already get plenty of jokes as that. You don't want any more as it is. And then you got the 1. So it's literally just 1. 1. It's a very simple movement. So just like that. So what stop time is, you might be asking. So stop time is just, it's generally used when the tempo is above 140, or honestly, just at any time your conducting gets extremely soft because you're moving too fast, you want to use this. So here's 4/4, and personally, I've only ever used stop time for 4/4. I've never had to use stop time for anything else. But I mean, we can go through the motions of that. So we're just gonna start with 4/4 because that's the most commonly used. So stop time for 4/4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're coming in on beats 1 and 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. So you get the gist of that. The other most common like time signature I've ever seen personally is using it in 5/4, which I believe it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. No, kidding. Don't listen to me. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. It's this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's that. I've never personally used it, I don't think, but it is a common one that I have seen through my time with marching band. There's the 2/2 like I showed you, which it's just like this. Really simple. You're just making a triangle. So there's that, and I mean, honestly, 1, you don't really need a stop time for that because this is already a pretty strict motion as it is. But if you ever come to something like that and you don't quite understand like 5/4, I even like stumbled a little bit because I don't ever use it. Obviously ask Mr. Windsor. So next we're going to talk about hand separation. This is where field commander stuff kind of gets a little scary, you know, but it really isn't. Like, it just takes practice. Obviously, with everything it takes practice. So there's one thing that Koji taught us, which if you don't know Koji, he was the drum major for Phantom Regiment. He was a drum major during Spartacus, and he was actually the one that did the final showing kind of thing. And if you watch, you'll see him. He's the one that looks Asian. At any rate, this is something that he taught us. So you want to start with just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to kind of work on your crescendos and decrescendos, but this is like the building steps to any hand separation. So you start out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing that he kind of taught us as a joke, pretend like you're picking up sand and then you're smearing paint down the wall like this. But don't literally smear paint down the wall, you'll look stupid. So, scoop, smear, scoop, smear. In camp he would go scoop, smear, scoop, smear. It's just something dorky that he always did. Something fun. Days at camp would get long, but they were amazing. Very tiring. Highly recommend. So there's that. You really should get comfortable doing this with 4/4 or going up, fast, up, 1, 2, down, 2, 1, 2, down, 2. So you should really get comfortable with that with both of your hands, not just one. You need to be comfortable with both hand separation. Next, we're going to talk about some cues. So cue-wise, cues, you always want to do a prep before you give it. So your prep would just be prep, play, prep, play. So say, I don't know, I want to give a cue on 1. So you do 1, 2, 3, prep, play. You always, the beat before you want to do it, you have to give the prep. Okay, so say I want to do it on 3. So 1, 2, prep, play. You know, that kind of thing. You should also get really comfortable doing that with both hands. So I personally use 3 different kinds of cues generally. So you got the normal prep. So 1, 2, 3, prep, and 1. So that's the like standard cue, I guess you want to call it. Next is like if you have a really powerful I don't know, thing going on in the music and you really want to give it a little extra oomph, you can literally throw it back and give it a punch, kind of. I would do this a lot during the season. I shouldn't say a lot. When the music calls for it, obviously. So it'd just be like 1, 2, 3, prep. It just emphasizes it a little bit more. Your conducting should always resemble what's going on in the music all the time. What's an extra version? So there's also the flute cue or piccolo. I just personally think it goes well with any melodic instrument. So you literally, it's just like a fingertip cue. I know this is often used for piccolos, but I would personally use it for any like woodwind melodic instrument usually. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, play. It's really simple. Also, another thing that you might remember me doing is I did this to help visualize the step out and movement too. So I would always do this. So I do 1, 2, 3. Obviously, that's just an option. You can figure it out when your band needs help. You can just kind of like create things. After all, there is no standard way, like I said. Next thing we want to do is cutoffs. So for cutoffs, you always do prep, around, off. So, I don't know. Excuse me, I'm having like a lot of hiccups tonight. Jeez. Life's great. So for prep, around, off, you always want to do like 1, 2, around, off. 1, prep, around, off. Let me do that again. 1, prep, around, off. Or also another way, instead of doing this, because that's, I mean, where do you actually stop? You sometimes with some people you can't tell exactly where they're stopping at, so you can do this as well, which is more probably the recommended way of doing cutoffs, which is just 1 prep, around, off, which I would do this most of the season. Or another way, just to emphasize the off, is 1 around, off. Excuse me, sorry, I'm getting really distracted by my chickens. Yes, I have chickens in my room. 1 prep, around, off. Just coming down like this. And you always want to emphasize the open hands, so your band knows that, oh, it's something different, kind of thing. I think I talked about mostly everything I need. I hope I did. If you guys have any questions that I may have missed, obviously let me know. I can make a part 2. This video is already pretty lengthy, but I mean, it is what it is. Being field commander is lengthy. I'm going to make, hopefully tomorrow, I don't know, can't keep promises. I'll be making a video going over leadership and like what it involves being a leader. Personally, I think you need to be a better leader than you are a musician. I mean, as for last season, I think the biggest reason why we had such good success is because our leadership group worked so well together. I mean, I feel like most people can agree with that, but that's just my opinion. I mean, you don't have to be the best musician in the band to be field commander. I mean, I personally don't think I'm the best musician, but I feel that I'm a strong leader, and I just really think being a leader is more important than being a great musician. I mean, obviously it's important, but leadership isn't taught. Being a conductor can be taught. But anyway, that's my spew on conducting. Let me know if you need help with anything. Send me videos. I can let you know how you're doing, give you little tips that I personally think that you could correct. So I think that's it. Bye.